Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Pangea tall table lamp. This is the 272120. You know, there's another one too that's a little shorter, and it's also pretty cool too, and that's a 272119. These are made up of laser cut plates that are kind of welded together and hand forged to make these spheres that you can kind of see through. They're very, very interesting. It's beautiful sculpture. On this one you're going to have 3 of them piled up on top of an accent, which is also the base of it. Let's get into the size of it. To begin with, 32.6 inches tall. That's going to be from the tabletop to the top of what's called the finial. This is the thing on the top that's holding your shade. So they say the diameter is coming in at 18 inches. That's going to be the widest point, so it's the diameter of the bottom of that drum shade. Coming in at 9.6 pounds, so it's a pretty good weight. Your cat shouldn't be able to knock this over. Let's get into a couple other things. So you've got these hand forged plates, and they're all welded together, and they're stacked up on this piece. And then on the very bottom you have what's called the base, or in this case it's going to be called the accent. So when you see the pull down menu where it says choose your finish, that's going to be for the 3 pieces of sculpture that are going up. It's going to be for the whole socket cluster. It's going to actually also be for this guy, which is very heavy, just so you know. It's very interesting to see these things in person sometimes, because you're amazed at how well made they are. This is, you know, pretty substantial stuff. I'm used to the light ones you see out in the world, and this is actually solid, so it's very cool. They don't spare any expense when they're making their things. Anyway, so those are the things that are going to be finished for what's called the fixture, basically. The accent on the bottom is going to be also in a pull-down menu. It says choose your accent finish, and that's going to give you the ability to customize this, maybe to do them in a contrasting finish or do the whole thing in one finish. It's really up to you. Okay, kind of cool there. Let's get into what's going on as far as what you can put into this, because that's what you guys are really all about, is how much light can I get out of this, because it is a light fixture. It's going to be using Hubbardton Forge's beautiful, and these are really the newer ones where you have this on-off dimmer built right into it. Hear the clicking? So that it's very cool. So this works beautifully on all their lamps, this on-off dimmer idea. And you can use what's called an A19. An A19 is the bulb that's going to fit into the harp, and the harp is the part that holds the shade. So we all grew up with these A19s. Easy. We've all had them. We had them all our lives. It's a very common bulb to find. You can find them at your grocery store, hardware store, drug store, everywhere. However, they come in different ways. So let's go over that kind of right now. If you guys want to stick with the incandescent ones of our past, you can still do that. It's going to be a 60 watt max of that because of the heat generated by that incandescent bulb. If you want to go LED, and you should, you can do a lot more than what you can get out of an incandescent. So we'll start off with kind of the old school LEDs. I don't even know if you can get this one anymore, but I got a bunch of them up here. And this is the one a lot of people are used to, and those usually will max out about 100 watt equivalent when you get into it. When you get into these guys, I see these kind of more out in the marketplace now, and these are called phosphorus LEDs, where you have all these little orange pads inside, and pads in line that the electricity goes through and they glow. That's the whole idea. But anyway, I found these at Walmart, and I found them, it was either under the Westinghouse or General Electric brand, up to 150 watt equivalent, which was pretty amazing to me. I bought a bunch of them for our showroom, and the color of the light coming out of them was perfect, and they were dimmable too, and they weren't that expensive. So these are something you guys should look at. When you look at the color of light coming out of these LEDs, in every video I talk about it, the color of the light's going to be offered to you in different ways. So they're going to offer it to you in a very yellow kind of setting sun color, and that's going to be called 2700 Kelvin or 2700 K. They're also going to offer this stuff to you in something called daylight. It's really important that when you look at this and you realize that daylight sounds like it should be a nice warm color, kind of like our incandescent bulb, but it's not. Daylight is going to be that bluish white light that you see outside on a overcast day in November. It's also going to be like a hospital waiting room light. So that's that bluish white light, and that's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. In the middle of all that is what we use in our showroom. That is called soft white or warm white, and that is 3,000 Kelvin, so, or 3,000 K. So this is that nice warm light. These are 3,000 Kelvin LEDs above me, and they actually, to me, mimic the light coming out of an incandescent bulb, that nice warm white. So that's something you should know. And then the other thing is, make sure that when you're looking at these, it's super important that you get a dimmable version. Make sure it says dimmable on that box. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below, so scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart, so you can click on dark smoke, you can click on soft gold, doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. In those same red tabs, you're going to see a what's on display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.